What are you doing here? You were just...
I found another exit.
The Eye?
Gone. The Raven blasted a hole in the floor of the treasure chamber. There's a hidden basement beneath it.
And the other treasures?
It doesn't look good.
Oh no.
Director Mokhtar?
Isn't it about time to open the gates?
I don't believe that the police have arrived yet. We can't risk giving the Raven a means of escape.
That monster is surely long gone by now.
Perhaps not. I have a lead.
Do your best. As soon as the police have surrounded the building, I'll open the gates.
Very well, Director. The basement below the treasure chamber. Did you know about it?
I had no idea.
There are maps and drawings from the Second World War in the room. Why?
Well, it may have had something to do with the resistance.
Resistance?
Egypt was occupied by the British. There was a movement for independence.
The Egyptians collaborated with the Nazis?
No, but the enemy of my enemy.
So, the rebels reported information to the Nazis, and for that they needed secret command posts.
Yes, and what would be of more symbolic importance than the Egyptian Museum, witness to 5,000 years of Egyptian independence?
Hidden rooms? Secret basements? What are they doing here?
The museum was built in 1900 by a Frenchman who had a penchant for such things.
Mystical torchlight ceremonies celebrating the builders of old? Freemasons? Things like that?
Many great buildings have complicated histories.
And today we're going to write a new chapter. I found this Arabic writing. What does it mean?
It says, the sons of Horus.
And that means?
Is this really the time to discuss history?
It's important.
The sons of Horus played an important part in the burial ritual. 4 sons, 4 canopic jars, vessels in which the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines of the body were stored.
Are the 4 connected to symbols?
A man, baboon, jackal, and falcon. Look downstairs in the main hall.
Sons of Horus, vessels and intestines. Got it. It's going to be okay. Wait here.
Where is the constable, anyway?
He's guarding the treasure chamber.
He told me to call for backup if he doesn't come back in about 5 minutes. And that I shouldn't trust you.
You won't stop me. Someone raised your museum to the ground, and I'm your best shot at putting a stop to that someone.
Ha!
Must be the canopic jars the director was talking about. 1 jar for each of the 4 sons of Horus. The sign says, Amset, liver. The sign says, Amset, liver. Happy, lungs. Here we have Duamutef, stomach. Quebecsenuef, intestines. Here we have Duamutef, stomach. The 4 sons of Horus, Amset, Hapi, Duamutef, and Quebecsenuef, are children of the god Horus the Elder and the goddess Isis. They are believed to protect canopic jars, which contain the internal organs of people who were mummified in ancient Egypt. As stellar gods, they are associated with the 4 cardinal directions. For that reason, their names were written on the 4 corners of the coffins during the Middle Kingdom period. Aha! 4 suns, 4 cardinal directions. The museum still has plenty to offer, despite the senseless destruction in the treasure chamber. Sarcophagus from the Old Kingdom. Unknown ruler. Here we go. On the front, you can see the tutelary deities Amset and Happy. At a later date, it became traditional to show all 4 sons of Horus on all 4 sides of the sarcophagus. Each sun signified a cardinal direction: Happy, the north; Amset, the south; Quebecsenuef, the west; and Duamutef, the east. Each son of Horus is associated with a cardinal direction and a symbol. Happy is the north, Amset is the south, Quebecsenuef is the west, and Duamutef is the east.
Zelna? Is that you?
It is I, the Raven.
Did you find an exit?
No, I'm still looking. The basement is quite large.
Okay. Don't go too far away.
There we go. He's up there, Robert. I know that.
That may be. Go into the guard room and open the gates.
Tell the director.
Zelna, don't do it. It's too dangerous.
You can't stop me. Not anymore. 200 steps at least. And a ladder. I'm too old for this. Left over from the war, if I had to guess. And why not? So high above the city is the perfect place for a secret radio installation. Must be unbearably hot up here in the summer, but it's bearable at the moment. The chair is the only object that's not covered with dust. It seems like someone sat on it recently. Handcuffs. Not what I expected. Was someone interrogated here? The Raven, if I'm not mistaken. Why don't you step into the light? Mr. Inch,
Amazing. Truly amazing. I thought young Legrand would be my most dangerous opponent, but it seems I should have had more respect for age.
And the bomb on the train? Did you want to kill us all?
I knew that Legrand would be hot on my heels after the heist in London. He's a dangerous man, Mr. Zellner. He almost caught me once.
Is that a reason to resort to murder?
It wasn't my only reason. An eye for an eye, Constable Zellner.
What about the murder of the Baroness? Was that also your doing?
The death of the Baroness was never part of the plan. Dr. Gebhardt had a score to settle with her and got in my way.
You didn't care about the key to the safe?
I never wanted to steal the eye out of the safe. I always intended to strike here, in the museum.
What about Gebhardt's confession?
A nice idea, don't you think? It keeps the inspector out of my hair. For a few more hours, at least. Until everything collapses like a house of cards.
Why did you want to steal the second eye here?
The eye was in the bank in Zurich for a long time. Impossible to get at. Then the safe on the ship in Legrand's cabin. Too complicated. I heard about the secret basement and found out how the security system worked. I would have preferred to save my performance for the gala this evening, but, well, events demanded a change of schedule. Not least because of you, my nosy friend.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all? Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story.
I told you not to get off. What if the train had gone without you?
So, you're taking a job as a ship's doctor.
I am excited but nervous too. I'm not exactly a champion swimmer.
If you wind up in the water on board a ship, something's gone terribly wrong.
What was all that in the museum?
That didn't quite go according to plan, did it? And I hate it when things don't go according to plan.
You nearly killed them.
You let them catch you.
It wasn't my fault. Scotland Yard was there.
If I thought it was your fault, you'd already be bobbing in the River Thames with a bullet in your head. Someone tipped them off. I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. Where is the jewel? Ah, marvelous. But it's just half the set, and stealing the second eye will be more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Why are we meeting here and not in Venice like we planned?
London drew more attention than planned. They put Legrand on the case.
Nicholas Legrand?
He's searching the train.
Shouldn't we postpone the plan under these circumstances?
On the contrary, I gave him an anonymous tip.
A tip?
I told him that the train will be robbed.
You don't seriously suggest that we steal the jewel right under Legrand's nose?
Of course, because I'm an idiot. Our best bet is still Cairo. Everything is prepared. Mr. X will provide us with everything we need. As planned, I'll go to Venice together with the Baroness and board the ship there. You'll do the same, but as surreptitiously as possible.
All right.
And under no circumstances can anyone be permitted to discover our relationship. Understood?
And the rest of the plan is as before?
We just have to get on board the ship.
Then I'll get in the car and we'll meet in Venice.
No, Legrand necessitates a change of plan. You'll go by train as well, and place this envelope on the safe as soon as the train halts in the tunnel. I'll cause a blackout so that you can sneak past the guard. You won't believe who's guarding the safe. That blasted Bobby from London. If you have any trouble, cave his skull in.
And Legrand?
You take care of the letter, I'll take care of everything else. The most important thing is that no one recognizes you on the train.
And that I don't get caught. What's the purpose of the letter?
That's not your concern.
I'd just like to know whether I'm risking my life for some game of yours, or whether it's worth it.
Any one of my games would be worth your life. You just do what I tell you. Stick the letter on the door of the safe or leave it on top of it, I don't care. But the letter has to be there as soon as Legrand shows up after the blackout to make sure everything is in order. Understood?
Yes.
What?
Yes, understood. Hasn't the Baroness grown suspicious?
She's wrapped up in a veil of alcohol, arrogance, and disinterest. Only flattery, gossip, and Belgian chocolate can penetrate it.
Ideal conditions.
I'll be glad to be rid of that old hag. She's my ticket to the most important museums in Europe. But these have been the longest 6 months of my life.
How are the injured guards doing?
How the devil should I know?
You didn't need to do that.
What? Save your bacon?
I'd have made it out on my own.
Oh yes, the poor security guard. It really wasn't necessary. I'm such a naughty boy.
I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Oh please, please, don't be angry with me. I won't do it again.
I don't know. We have the first eye, and we only just escaped.
Tell me you're not suggesting that we should be satisfied with that? One eye alone is nothing more than an expensive bauble. But both eyes together are a legend. My greatest triumph.
Shouldn't I put the eye somewhere for safekeeping? Just in case Legrand searches our things.
I'll hide the jewel in the Baroness's luggage. I already know where. Legrand won't dare search her belongings, and even then, he'll never be able to open the secret compartment.
Okay, so we'll see each other in Venice.
And not sooner. Here, take your travel documents. We may not have an opportunity to meet in Venice.
Okay, fine. That's the first change of plans so far. Whatever. Looks like I'll be going to Venice by train. Handy Swiss Army knife. A good friend gave it to me. Inch loves the spotlight and has a flair for the dramatic. Why else would he call himself the Raven? I don't like having to risk my own neck as part of his drama. What's the point of leaving messages for his opponent? A ticket for a trip on the MS Lydia from Venice to Cairo. Some banknotes, and passport. Blank. No personal info, no picture. Inch has brilliant contacts in the underworld. He knows the best counterfeiters, technicians, pickpockets, and con men. He remains anonymous, though. Most of them don't even know they're working for him. Mr. X, his contact in Cairo, probably doesn't have a clue who he is. Sometimes you can find useful things in a waste bin, but this one seems to have been emptied recently. The conductor from the train. He's keeping a watchful eye on his passengers and their luggage. The train's been held up, and he seems to want to prevent further delays. He'd see me if I tried to board the train. I don't think I can lure him away. One of the passengers would have to ask him for something. It would be best if I could get my hands on his clothes somehow. The conductor's uniform would be the ideal disguise. He'd see me if I... The crate must have had bananas or something in it. It's empty now. There probably isn't a single newspaper between Moscow and Madrid that's not reporting on the burglary. I'm famous. Unfortunately, not for the sort of elegantly executed theft I'd like to be known for. It's built out of thin wooden boards. Probably didn't have to bear much weight. Burglary in British Museum, 1 casualty, 5,000 pounds damage, culprit unknown. Return of the Raven? I'd have escaped anyway, but Inch just couldn't resist playing with dynamite. I hope the security guard recovers soon. A leather bag like the ones used by country doctors for carrying their equipment. If I swiped the bag, it'd cause confusion while people look for it, and I might be able to sneak onto the train. The only problem is, I can't take the bag with me. Some of the passengers got off the train to stretch their legs, but this man started his journey right here in Zurich. He waited a good 10 minutes for the train and began to get impatient. Judging by the bag, he's a doctor. He radiates self-confidence, almost arrogance. Not a chance. The doctor could easily spot me taking his bag. He'd sound the alarm, and our Swiss friend would have no choice but to arrest me, and then we'd have a real problem. Clothes maketh the man. Put a uniform on a short, old, rather chubby little man, and they'll show him all due respect, even if he's only a constable. The uniform alone gives him power, and that counts for a lot in this part of the world. I'd better not interrupt their conversation. As long as they're talking to each other, they're distracted and paying less attention to their surroundings. They won't let me ride along in the freight car, not even if I ask nicely. I could probably pry the bottom boards off without too much effort. They're thin, and the nails are short. Perfect. It looks like a normal crate. It's now or never.
Hey, you! Scram!
Yes, sir. Let the games begin.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Can't you see that I am talking to the constable?
The train is leaving in a few minutes, sir. I have to ask you to board it now.
We should get on. Perhaps we'll be able to continue our conversation during the trip.
I won't stand in the way. Oh, where's my bag?
You left it right there.
I know that. I want to know where it is now.
I don't know. I'll look for it right away. If you gentlemen would get on the train in the meantime...
I will hold you and your employers liable for this.
I'm sure he'll find the bag. Come on, Dr. Gebhardt. I will help you with your luggage.
Fine.
The conductor doesn't really seem to know where to search for the lost bag. Finding a particular piece of luggage at a railway station is like finding a needle in a haystack. You seem to be searching for something. Can I help?
Go away. There's no money to be earned here.
That's not what I mean. I just thought, if you're looking for a brown bag...
Why? Did you steal one?
If that were true, I wouldn't be offering to help you. I saw a little blonde boy take the bag. He ran off with it, over there.
Really? Thanks.
Isn't that the bag?
Where?
Nothing personal. No! Oh, man!
Let me have a look.
Damn, I can't let the professor see me. I shadowed him for days in London. He might recognize me.
Calm down, Professor. See what I can do. You don't understand.
There are several special keys on the keychain. This one should open the cabin door from outside. Lucky for me that I have the key and the people outside don't. That way the locked door will keep them at bay a little while longer. Professor Lucio seems to travel light. The Baroness's luggage takes up half a freight car. I don't think that the suitcase or the bag contain anything that could help me out. I better leave as little evidence as possible.